Now on CoastTV News.
Demolition date passed. What is next for the old Dolle's building before demolition?
A tax hike for vacationers renting a place to stay in Worcester County. How much more hotel rooms are going up?
A memorial grows for a fallen state trooper. How you can pay tribute this week.
Blustery conditions will continue around our neck of the woods, and the cold, oh boy, it's about to get a little bit worse.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Buildings still standing on the Rehoboth Boardwalk despite demolition getting the green light months ago. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. We begin tonight with demolition in Rehoboth Beach to make way for a hotel.
Phase 1 of demolition for the future 1 Rehoboth Avenue Hotel was completed in the summer on the north end of the Grottos area there, leaving the second phase of demolition for the old Dolle's and Zelke's and Core Brothers ice cream shop. Well, that could have started months ago to rip those down, but it still hasn't happened. Coast TV News reporter Brandon Ferguson live in Rehoboth Beach. Brandon, developers say the initial delay was to avoid the Sea Witch Festival back in October.
Maddie, at some points, these buildings will have to hit the ground. And when that exactly will happen, that's anyone's guess. But before then, if that demolition does hold up, no construction can start on the 1 Rehoboth Avenue Hotel.
The old Dolle's, Zelke's, and Core Bros are all set to be demolished.
I don't know what's taking them so long.
To make way for this massive hotel right on the corner of Rehoboth Avenue. Dana Feitner has been coming to Rehoboth Beach for years, and while the planned demolition is paused, she's taking in everything that this stretch of boardwalk used to be.
I think the part of the charm of Rehoboth is that it feels kind of small and family oriented.
These demolition signs have been posted for months. According to the demolition notice, the permit was issued on September 19th, and demolition could have started here in late October during a December 12th Planning Commission meeting here in Rehoboth Beach. The commission made it very clear to the developer that nothing is holding them back from demolition starting on the remaining buildings.
The future 1 Rehoboth Avenue Hotel will have 60 rooms in total and retail space on the first floor. For one couple that's been coming here for 15 years, they recognize that growth is natural, but do not want to see too many hotels on the boardwalk.
We don't want to turn it into Ocean City, but progress, what can you do?
For now, the buildings still stand, giving people a chance to remember what this corner of Rehoboth Beach used to be, before the 1 Rehoboth Avenue Hotel settles in to its new home.
The city's communication director tells us there will be a meeting next Wednesday between the city, contractor, and developer for the 1 Rehoboth Avenue Hotel project, where a progress report will be presented to the city about a future timeline for this project. Live in Rehoboth Beach, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
Brandon, thank you. Just down the boardwalk, fencing has gone up in front of the Atlantic Sands Hotel. That is as crews begin railing replacement work. That construction is taking up a little portion of the boardwalk.
And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how do you feel about the old Dolle's building coming down?
Let's take a look at the results so far. Take a look at your screen, and 20% say the new hotel would be better. 47% say they wish the Dolle's building stayed. 33% say bittersweet, kind of in the middle there.
And if you haven't voted yet, it's easy to do. Go to coasttv.com or use your mobile app. We're taking a live look into Ocean City right now. A gorgeous night out there. But let's check in with our First Alert chief meteorologist to find out what's going on with the weather. Paul Williams has that report.
Well, right now we are holding near freezing. Actually, we're at 35 degrees in Lewis right now, 33 in Long Neck as well as Indian River Inlet, and we're holding at 33 degrees in a lot of our locations, which are inclusive of Redden, Milford, Seaford, Laurel, Delmar, Gumboro, Ocean Pines, Bethany Beach, as well as Rehoboth Beach at 33, 35 right now in Lewis. Now the cold is going to continue to stick around. Now the winds are going to start backing off just a little bit, ever so slightly, but as you take a look at our expectations for tomorrow, we're looking for the winds to stay at least out of the west and then turn out of the southwest, but we're looking for temperatures to start off in the 20s. Now that means that the wind chill is going to be down there as well. In fact, they're expected to be in the teens for us. And as we go in towards the end of the portion of the week, that's when it's really going to fall into the teens in a more significant way. But we will get a chance to at least see some sunshine going into tomorrow and temperatures in the mid-30s. Now, coming up, we're going to talk about just how low we will indeed go with those wind chills coming up in a moment.
Paul, thank you. Vigils across the state continue this week for Delaware State Police Corporal Matthew Ty Snook, who was shot and killed while working overtime at a Wilmington DMV just before Christmas. A vigil is taking place this evening in Glasgow and Newcastle County. It begins at 6 p.m. at Glasgow Regional Park. And new tonight at a candlelight vigil upstate last night, Corporal Snook's widow Lauren speaking out for the first time.
You'll hear everyone say that Ty was a good man if you didn't know him. I'm sorry if you didn't. But if you did, hopefully you smile when you hear how good he was. He was steady, he was loyal, and he was deeply loved. He lived his life with integrity and heart. And that is how we choose to remember him here tonight.
Corporal Snook will be laid to rest Monday, January 5th. His funeral is at the University of Delaware's Bob Carpenter Center. State police say a public visitation runs from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m., followed by a memorial service and final honors. The interment, the burial, will be private. New tonight, the Delaware State Police say people who left cars or personal property at the Wilmington DMV can now start the process to get them back. To arrange pickup, contact the Delaware State Police and further instructions will then be given. DSP does say some property may still be restricted due to the ongoing investigation. And with that, hours-long lines of cars and people stretched outside Delaware DMV offices today. All DMV locations had been closed since the shooting, while Wilmington locations remain closed with no reopening date. The other 3 offices reopened this week. Increasing wait times and crowding at the reopened offices is expected.
There is still a lot of people here in Delaware that need stuff done. So even if they do need to bring in short-term people for just a few weeks, might as well try at least, because I don't think this is going to stop anytime this week. It's going to be like this for a while.
DelDOT leaders are urging drivers to be patient and, if possible, wait. All DMV late fees are being waived through the end of January 2026.
If you're planning your next vacation in Ocean City, be prepared to spend more money for room and board. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappe is live in Ocean City. Kevin, room taxes in Worcester County are going up.
Maddie, if a family rented a place in Ocean City for the weekend, they would have had to pay a 5% room tax to Worcester County. But starting January 1st, 2026, that tax will increase to 6%. According to a representative from Worcester County, the increase will help fund tourism and local services. And with a rise in prices, one homeowner in Ocean Pines says the increase isn't shocking.
Minimum wage is going up. People have to live, so we all got to chip in a little bit more, you know. That's the way I look at it.
With the new 6% coming to Worcester County and the current 6% that the state imposes, that'll be a total of 12% room tax that visitors will have to pay when staying in Worcester County. I'm Kevin Zappe, live in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
The United States continues to put pressure on 2 adversaries tonight, placing new sanctions on Venezuela and Iran, claiming Iran is sending weapons to Venezuela.
As NBC's Julia Ainsley reports, it follows President Trump's admission that the U.S. conducted a strike on Venezuelan soil.
The Trump administration ramping up pressure on Venezuela and Iran, imposing new sanctions Tuesday, trying to limit weapons trades between the 2 nations, calling Iran's sale of weapons to Venezuela a threat to U.S. interests in the region. It follows President Trump's public statement on Monday that for the first time in his administration, the U.S. has conducted an attack on Venezuelan soil.
There was a major explosion in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs.
The president not confirming reports from several outlets that the CIA conducted a drone strike against a Venezuelan dock believed to be used for drug trafficking. NBC News has not confirmed those reports, and the CIA is not commenting.
Well, I don't want to say that. I know exactly who it was, but I don't want to say who it was. But it was along the shore.
The president's comments on Venezuela came after he met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to discuss Israel's concerns Iran is trying to rebuild its ballistic missile program.
Iran may be behaving badly. It hasn't been confirmed, but if it's confirmed, look, they know the consequences. Consequences will be very powerful. Maybe more powerful than the last time.
The president insisting June's U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran's military facilities has left those areas decimated.
They're not going to go back to where they were, but they have other places they can go. And if they're doing that, they're making a big mistake.
President Trump said he would support Israel attacking Iran if Tehran is trying to rebuild its missile program. Iran's president said on social media that his country's response to any attack would be severe and regret-inducing. Julia Ainsley, NBC News, Washington.
The pumpkin chunkin', no, the Sussex County tradition, it's not back, but a grant from organizers is.
We're looking at breezy conditions around the entire Delmarva Peninsula, but the cold is what's going to be the bigger story.
But first, safe driving in Ocean View, how police departments are cracking down on DUIs, up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
As New Year's Eve approaches, safe driving remains a top priority. In this dangerous time to drive, Ocean View says it's seen 11 DUIs in January since 2022.
Coast TV News reporter Drew Bellinger shows us how police departments like Ocean View are preparing.
Denny Barton fills up his car before the roads get crazy. He says the risk of driving on New Year's is just not worth it.
If you feel like you might be a little over the edge, just play it safe. Call an Uber. All right, leave your car, give it to a friend.
On the streets of Ocean View, where according to the Ocean View 2024 monthly report, there were 39 DUI incidents logged, 2 coming in January.
Our goal is safety, not tickets.
Chief Kenneth McLaughlin with the Ocean View Police Department says,
our plan is going forward to continue to have increased police visibility during peak hours for DUIs and on peak roadways.
In 2024, the Ocean View Police Department arrested a man who crashed and left his car on Atlantic Avenue right behind me. It was his 4th DUI offense. If you know you won't blow triple zeros, don't start the car. Chief McLaughlin partially credits rideshare apps to the decrease in DUI cases in Ocean View.
And a lot of that is attributed to Uber and Lyft. It's very easy to get a ride. Most of the folks down in the Ocean View area are traveling to Ocean City or Dewey Beach.
Making the wrong choice could mean that your 2026 starts in this room, where people have blown a blood alcohol content of up to 0.27 and 0.3. A resolution to avoid deaths on the roadways and keep the streets safe during celebration. In Ocean View, Drew Bellinger, Coast TV News.
Coming up next, Paul Williams in our First Alert Weather Center with your full forecast after this.
To be quite honest, I'm kind of right with you. I'm tired of it being cold, and there's nothing we can do about it because it's going to get colder. So just keep wearing your coats over and over again, all right? Our Irish Eyes camera in Lewis coming in at about 33 degrees. That's been kind of like the deal for everybody. For tonight, cold continues, still breezy, lows into the 20s. And then for New Year's Eve, pleasant but chilly, slight breeze, and so long to 2025. Yes, indeed. So we're at 32 degrees in Rehoboth right now, and in Milton it's 32 degrees in Millsboro, Gumboro, Dagsboro, and Seaford, as well as Laurel and Delmar. We are significantly colder. Take a gander at this. 16 to 17 degrees colder than we were just 24 hours ago. So it wasn't your imagination. And if you're paying attention yesterday, we told you it's going to be a big about face. Well, we're facing about towards more cold weather. It feels like 21 in Indian River Inlet right now. It feels like 26 in Ocean City, and it's going to get progressively more challenging. We're not going to say bad. We're going to stay positive for these last few days of 2025. Gale wind warning is still in effect at least until about 6 o'clock for tonight. But we've been downgraded to a small craft advisory from Ocean City all the way down towards Chincoteague, and same on the other side of the peninsula. So the winds are backing down, and that's going to help out a bit because the temperatures are tumbling into the lower 20s, and we don't necessarily need any additional wind on top of that. That's called adding insult to injury in its true meteorological sense of the word. So for tonight, we stay really clear. Wednesday, we start watching out for the cloud cover and perhaps a little precipitation start to make its way towards us. Let's talk winds first. 40-mile-per-hour wind recorded earlier in Salisbury, a 37-mile-per-hour wind gust recorded in Georgetown. Now, as far as our expectations, we're looking for the winds continue to stay zonal and started backing down to maybe 19, 20, and then we'll pick up 24 to 26 mile per hour wind gusts, maybe 27 at Bethany Beach for Wednesday afternoon. And then the winds start going back and forth, kind of swirling a little bit after that. But for most of Wednesday, we're looking for temperatures approaching the 40-degree mark, slightly below it or slightly above it, but winds mainly pushing out of the west up to about 20 miles per hour. 41 for the high in Georgetown, for example, 41 for the high in Cambridge with winds out of the west at 10 to 20, cold and breezy in Pocomoke City with 41 degrees for the high there. Futurecast showing that cloud cover, but look, we see that a brief stint of a flurry that's going to push through very quickly, then it gets out of the way so fast before we can really gauge it. But here's the big deal. It's going to feel like 15 for Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon. It's going to feel like the 20s on Thursday, and then on Friday morning, how about 12? How about 12? That's what it's going to feel like, so keep that in mind. So our New Year's planner, listen, we're looking at winds moving out of the south is going to help. Temperatures will be near the freezing mark, so you still need to bundle up. And finally, here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Bottom line is that cold on Friday, man, when it kicks in, it's going to kick in with both feet, Charlie.
I'm hearing you, Paul. I really am. The Greater Lewis Foundation announces a new grant created by the managers of the Pumpkin Chunkin organization to support open space projects. The new fund will make an annual grant up to $10,000 to support open space preservation and public use in Sussex County. Pumpkin Chunkin was a long-time tradition in western Sussex where people catapulted pumpkins from homemade contraptions. It was put on hiatus after a serious injury led to a lawsuit before eventually moving out of Delaware and then paused altogether.
Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network, it is the final day of the Governor's Challenge. At 5 p.m., J.H. Blake takes on Coatesville. At 6:45, Prolific Prep faces West Town. 8:30, Gillian Academy battles SoCal Academy. And your DSN Plus exclusives, more actions from the Governor's Challenge games. We have all the action at the Civic Center Court, Y-High, UMES, and Salisbury Christian. We'll be right back.
The Trump administration is investigating several companies for using diversity initiatives to hire and promote workers. The Justice Department believes holding a federal contract while considering diversity constitutes fraud. The Wall Street Journal is reporting Alphabet and Verizon have received demands to supply documents. And the holiday season, it does continue, and so does our holiday house.
We love seeing all your decorations. This is from Jennifer and David Heald in Rehoboth Beach, who say happy holidays to all. I love the stockings. They just look like something out of a magazine there.
Yeah, this could come right out of a magazine. It looks gorgeous. It looks fun. We appreciate you guys sending it in, and we still want to see yours. Decking the halls. Send us your photographs, your videos by going to coasttv.com/holidayhouse. We might even show it on TV. We'll be right back.
Wanting you to have a very safe celebration, so let's make that priority number one. So please be sure you don't drive if you're buzzed in any shape, form, or whatsoever. You're not young anymore, remember? All right, 32 degrees actually for us in Milford, and we're going to drop to 29 by 9 o'clock. By the way, Happy New Year to you. Take a look at your New Year's Eve forecast, 36, New Year's Day, 35. Cold and cold, you know, left and right, same situation. By the way, our umbrella giveaway winner is PJ Fasciolo of Milton. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling. And be sure you come by the station and pick up those umbrellas, by the way. Now, want to remind you that our weather line is updated 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The number to call is 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Bruxted, Mandalis, and Federico. Now, as we take a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast, couple of things to keep in mind. First of all, have a safe celebration of the new year. But when I put that cold there, we're talking about on Friday, the wind chill is going to be at 12 degrees. Yikes. And you know what? It's staying that cold for the following Saturday and Sunday. And even next week, although we'll be into the 40s, it's still going to be cold, Maddie.
All right, Paul, thank you. And thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.